Hello, welcome to another episode of New Gameplay. Today, I'm your host, Jeff Cork, joined today by Matt Kato.
How's it going?
Doing quite well. Ben Hanson.
I'm ready for some football here.
We are ready for some football. Kato, what are we looking at?
What? We're looking at football, man.
Okay, well, there's so many different football games on the video game market today.
Okay, this is Madden NFL 19.
Okay.
Put out by EA Sports, made by EA and Tiburon. So it's the EA game. So just clear up any confusion there.
Okay, this is not 2K Sports.
Oh, no,
Or
sir.
ESPN presents.
Nope, not the Konami football game.
Bliss.
This isn't Fever.
Nope.
No.
All right. No Cyberball. No Joe Montana football.
That's true. No Talk Sport. Nothing like that.
Game day.
Not that either, sir. No,
Not
sir.
Blood Bowl. Not Mutant League. I think we've done almost all of it. Not
Blitz.
Front Page Sports. Is that?
Anyway, I'll get
we're
back
having
to you. I'll
fun.
get back to you on that one.
All right. So, Kato, tell me about this game. Not the game of football overarching, but this particular installment of the long-running Madden series.
Yes.
Should you care about this if you like the Madden games?
You know, I have a lot of fun playing this game as far as, the old what's new and stuff like that. I think if you've played last year, certainly you're going to recognize some stuff, but I think you'll also find some new stuff. Like, for instance, right there, that was a sideline catch, and it's pretty easy to just kind of accelerate forward so he doesn't drift out. See, I didn't drift out there. That's one of those small things that if you played 18 or even the previous years, you're going to notice. And if you've been off for a number of years, there's a ton of modes, there's a ton of good gameplay that I think you're also interested you as well.
You got some Fortnite dances too, I notice.
That's I don't play Fortnite, but if the kids tell me that those are Fortnite
That's where dances come from
then
now.
that's fine, yeah.
Jeff Cork,
Yes, sir.
I've played a fair amount of this as well. I beat the Longshot story mode.
Yeah?
And I was shocked. I haven't played a Madden game in 18 years.
Okay.
Madden 2000 was the last one, I guess. And even like the little bit of tutorializing they do in the Longshot mode, it's like, what? There are like 6 different ways to just throw a ball at somebody. I was flabbergasted, Kato, by the complexity of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff comes into play. Like, I'm going to do a passing play right here, and the coverages for the defenses are a little tougher, so the windows are a little tighter, which means that you got to be on your game. Well, that guy did not respond to that one. You have to be on your game, so I think you're always going to be using different kinds of throws, different kinds of catches, which, like you're saying, I think the long shot mode, I think, definitely helps with that, get you into some of that.
Yeah, I feel like it could use a better tutorial, which they do have within the exhibition menu in the main menu, which is confusing. Like, there's no tutorial on the landing page. You got to dig into an exhibition game, and then you can practice your skills and stuff there, which I regret not doing, because Longshot was a grind, man.
But you did it?
I did it. I beat it. It was a lot of trial and error. More error than trial, but you know how it goes.
I got to say, too, as someone
Yuck.
who's played this, and I think we talked about this the other day, as someone who's played, obviously, this game a ton, I actually had a bunch of replays also in Longshot.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what it was. I think some of them it's just because like you have to score a touchdown in, let's say, like 4 downs or something like that.
Right.
Which, it's not impossible, but all it takes is somebody just drops the ball. You got to start over.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't find it frustrating. I don't know about you. What you thought, Ben?
I found it a little bit frustrating, but again, I'm a bad super minority market for Madden here, where I haven't touched it in so long, and it's just I regret not doing more training leading into it. Like even simple stuff, Kato. This is as dumb of a question as you can possibly get, but I didn't understand. See the plays here, right here.
Yes.
The red is just what you're supposed to do, but everything else is still an option. All the yellow guys are options.
Yeah, that's like your hot route, basically. So
What does that mean?
let me just hold on for a second. Ooh, there we go. The hot route, I guess, you can, it will default to that. So I think you're right. That is kind of like one of your first reads. You can change all the routes for any of the guys. So it's, in some ways, I'm not say it's irrelevant, but it just kind of, this kind of play art here is just definitely helpful if you ever want to just kind of see what's going on. Even I've got to sit there and kind of memorize and make sure I know where people are going, because when you don't, bad things happen.
So your eyes always start with the hot route, and then after that, it's like backup plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's always, if I remember correctly, it will always be like the X button. So if you're ever in a tight jam and you just blindly want to hit a button, that's what happens. Because sometimes stuff just breaks down. Even I will be like, what was that button? What was this route? What was whatever? So
Yeah. So, like, does this have an equivalent for like a lot of racing games with various assists and everything? So you can kind of like choose to play it almost like a straight sim versus more arcadey. Is there something in that with like I haven't played a Madden in a long time either, where if you were just like I'm a football fan, I should play this Madden game, and I would imagine it's going to be bewildering for a lot of players who don't play a lot of video games also and have kept up with every incremental release, kind of like our dear boy Ben Hanson. Like,
Yes.
there are a lot of assists and everything.
There's that goes into a lot of different categories, which is good. It's not just I want to play on hard, I want to play on easy.
Yeah.
There's things like you can turn off the play clock, so you don't have to like rush. See, it's counting down now 8-7 to snap the ball. You can disable that. There's another thing like, for instance, you'll see up in the upper where the score, the down and distance. See, it says EA Sports Simulation. It says EA Sports Sim.
Yeah.
Those are what called gameplay styles. So like arcade would be the hits are a little bigger and they might cause some more fumbles, but also, there's just kind of a little bit more of a fudging there.
Okay.
Versus like sim, it's trying to go by exactly what the players are rated and what their attributes are. There's another one called competitive, which is more about, it tries to emphasize stick skills. So it's like more the timing and the accuracy of when you can literally do stuff on the buttons and on sticks.
Yeah.
Not as much about the player ratings.
Yeah.
There's ways to even up the teams. So if, let's say, you're playing a really good team, like you want to be the
Browns.
Patriots, because you love the Patriots, your friend loves the Browns. Well, on paper, those teams don't add up, but there's a way to even them out. So that's another one of those small things where, again, going to what's going to help me, what are the assists going to be.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice because there's a wide gamut of options there.
But Cork, don't expect like if you go to arcade mode, it's gonna feel like an NFL Blitz or even like
No.
Madden Arcade, which came out last gen. Like it still feels basically like this.
Okay.
And there are ways to do like some more simple button press ones. I think that there's some like 1 or 2 button press modes where it's, they really try to simplify it down to even on that. So
I wish they would release another one of those Madden Arcade games. They just made that one, right, Kato? Do you remember that thing? It was like
when it
early.
was NFL Street, that was a series that went for a couple iterations.
Yeah, this was called Madden Arcade. It was
Yeah.
like early in last gen. And I think they just released the one. Yeah, I think it was maybe downloadable only, but I like the idea of it. I would like more in that vein. Just to have like this team's talent just boil everything down to kind of like a Civilization Revolution style for Madden,
Oh. That's a first down.
Hey Kato, how do they factor in tattoos for players? If a player gets a tattoo halfway through the season on their arm, will they go patch that in?
No, they won't. They do change the commentary. They'll drop in, which actually was one of the really good things that they've done the past couple of years, is they'll drop in new commentary. Certainly, you can play with updated rosters, and I think that comes out. I'm pretty sure that comes out weekly.
Jesus.
You can also download people's own like tuner sets. So if like you can edit all the players. So if someone wants to do their own like roster tuning, you can download that. So there's some options.
What are those
there.
guys? All right.
Everyone's having fun on the football field today.
I am horrible down here at the goal line. It's like stuff gets so compressed. There's just too much stuff going on.
The commentary really blew me away, just how adaptive it is. Even in Longshot mode, for these super specific high school games even, like they have so many lines of dialogue for whatever's happening.
So it's not like that player is going to feel it tomorrow.
No, it's crazy.
Well, here's the thing too: is we were talking about doing replays in Longshot. I might do some of those high school games, mess it up a bunch of times, and there was still plenty of new dialogue. Just kind of off the cuff, like the two announcers having fun.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of that where you're like, wow, I wonder, if I kept doing this 30 times, would there still be new stuff going? It was pretty cool. And there was branching stuff too.
Yeah. You just hear heavy breathing as there's completely out of things to say.
Yeah, they were just, reading out of the phone book. It was,
They're actually being live streamed. It's like a little, it's like HQ. Way to go, though, Kato. Way to go, man.
That's how we drew it up in the meetings all week. March right down the field and score 7 points.
You want to check out some other modes?
Yeah, let's
Show
do
what
that.
we got on offer here.
So you always play as the Vikings?
Generally, yeah.
Generally?
I mean, part of it too is I just know the roster, so I know what to expect from certain players. But I sometimes switch up the playbooks. You can pick anybody's playbook, so that makes it a little bit more.
Wait, so you can like mix and match? You can have like the Vikings, but they have the Cowboys playbook?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do that.
That's
you
cool.
can assemble your own playbook out of all the other plays as well if you want.
Huh.
So one of the new things, this year is it's called schemes. So if you go through here, you see these little puzzle pieces on the guys. That means they're a scheme fit. So what that means is if you go over here, we were talking about playbooks.
Mm-hmm.
You can switch to any playbook that you want. But kind of more importantly is these offensive and defensive schemes. So if you go in here, you can change this at any point week to week if you want. So why would or wouldn't you want to do that? Well, depending on how your players fit into this scheme, like this is the scheme I run. My players don't fit very good in this scheme because look, it's a 73% scheme fit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason I do that is if you look at the player types.
Yep.
So like the guard, the centers, they're all quote power.
Right.
Left tackle or pass protection. Quarterback is strong arm. Now the reason I picked this one, even though it's not, ostensibly a great fit for my players, is that because when I want to go in and use the points that these guys have earned through the season, when I go in here, I'm trying to pick power for these guys.
Okay.
Because what this will do is it'll give them the most. It's randomized what you get, but you have a better chance of getting more points.
Mm-hmm.
And in the power, I want them to be awarded in these particular ones. So it's like I'm more likely to get pass block power or run block or lead block because this is where I want to improve my players. So, and as you go through the season from week to week, the people who are scheme fits, for like this guy here is a scheme fit for power, as you can see by the little puzzle icon, they're going to get more XP. The more XP you get from week to week, the more you get these skill points. See, there's 2 skill points.
Yeah.
The more I'm going to get those. So it's kind of like I'm engineering and I'm picking a scheme to sort of give me a boost in the outcomes that I really want, which again is like I want to improve my quarterback's arm. I want to have some more power for my linemen. But if I wanted to do something else, like see here's the lineman here is agile. So it's just kind of a thing where you go and I find it a way to sort of min-max or game the system. I'm just trying to game the system to get the most points so I can put them, so I can get possibly the best randomization for my players. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just all there used to be a thing where you could just like, you know what? I get 2 points and I want to put them on my player's speed. Okay, I would do that. I would spend XP in the things that I wanted.
Right.
Now they don't give you that control. So it's like, well, how do I then back out, game the system in the way I want to?
Mm-hmm. Are they trying to simulate what it's like to actually work with human players versus robots that you're just pumping points into wherever you see fit? Like,
yeah, in a way, because they didn't want people just gaming it by being like, oh, I just want to put everything into speed. I want to put everything into power because that would shift some imbalances. The problem is now you're taking control away from people and you're putting it in the system. The randomization is fine. I understand that you don't know how a player is going to progress from year to year. But the problem with it is that you're now having to jump through these weird, quote, scheme hoops, when in reality, in like actual football, you would design a scheme, for your players. Like, I have a really good running back, I want to design a scheme around him. Well, this isn't really doing that. But yeah, the randomization is fun. Like, and you can go and if you go and you do a non-scheme fit thing, you're still going to get, look at that, you're still going to get some decent things. But again, it's in specific categories and might not be, you might not want to put one in receiving back because that's just not how you use your running back.
Right.
But this is going to give them upgrades in that. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of, I think it's kind of a goofy kind of thing, but I don't know, people might like it.
So the question would be then, is there any way that I could spend real world currency to help with the stuff you just showed.
That was a
Please.
setup. Well, here's the easy question. No, it has nothing to do with that. I
Okay,
know
good.
EA, that's a stick people love to beat EA with. It has nothing
I'm
to
just
do with
asking
that.
questions, Kato.
I understand. I understand. You want people to make their own decisions.
Absolutely.
Get all the facts.
What can you spend money on in this game?
Well, that's interesting that you would mention that.
Thank you, Kato.
Because if you're a person who's, let's say, like has a lot of disposable income and you just love spending money
I'm listening.
for spending money's sake, then there is a mode you can or you cannot do that,
Yes?
which is called Ultimate Team.
Ultimate Team.
Have you heard of Ultimate Team?
I've heard of this thing.
It's called Ultimate, so it must be the best one.
Yeah.
I guess.
Clearly. So you come in here and, ooh, look, there's my daily.
Oh,
Well,
this already looks effing gross.
Let's open some packs, man.
Ugh.
This is known as ripping packs, pack pulls. That's the kids. We talked about those kids earlier.
Blowing
Yes.
chunks.
This is this is what some of this is going into.
Tide
So
Pods.
I'm getting all these guys, and you're gonna put them in my lineup. And this is, as you can tell, from all kinds of teams. And so you're gonna want to put these you guys in your lineup. So let's say this guy. This guy, as you can see, he's got like a little. I'm gonna select this guy so I can show you the Powerup System. So new this year is Powerup System. They had one old last year, but it just wasn't very good. This one's a little better, where you have upgrades, and like I can, for 5 points, I have 2 training points, as you can see my thing, but for 5 training points, I can actually go and purchase, I can upgrade this guy's chemistry slot, and those chemistries, there's just a whole bunch of different chemistries that you can play with. So
Cork, some days I think we need to upgrade our chemistry slot, frankly.
Absolutely. I'll put the money in.
we can. There's just it's just easier where you can it's kind of cool because you can upgrade the cards in a little easier way than there was last year.
All right.
So I can just show you actually one of the guys I have started a power up for.
God, those are the most masculine card opening animations I've ever seen in my life.
People
They're
love it.
designed
It's
by
love it
Tim
when
Allen.
you
It's
get
very
like a
butch.
new when they always make brag about how they've changed it and stuff like that.
Oh, God.
Actually, I can't do that from here. So this is a way where if you wanted to go in the store and you wanted to spend money, you could do that. Now, it's not going to guarantee you what exactly, buying a great card, but what it is you go in here, let's say I can buy this, whatever. I have enough points, I can buy this 20 gold premium bundle, whatever.
You should buy that. You have enough coins to buy that elite pack.
Come on, man.
So when
Don't
you
be
come
a
in here,
coward.
which is kind of cool this year. So you're not guaranteed a player, but you're going to get, look, this tells you're going to get 16 silver or better cards,
To push
14
X.
gold or better packs. And so but actually we can do this new this year is you view info. It will show you the probability based on these tiers.
So they
which
can
is
sell
kinda
this in
nice.
China now, right? Is that where they do this?
or Europe.
In Europe?
Or you're, big in Europe.
Games suck, you guys.
But here's the
sucks.
deal: is I love this mode. I don't spend real money on this.
Okay.
So you see those coins amounts.
Yes.
Like that's you earn by doing all this sort of stuff in the game. You earn coins. You can turn around and spend those coins on these bundles. So it's like, and there's ways. How do you get coins? Okay, so it's easy. You can sit there in what's called solo challenges. These will get you coins. These will also get you cards. These will get you plenty of different things. This is all free stuff. You just go and it's called grinding solos. You just go and play those. You can do competitive, but also you can do, new this year is this thing called solo battles. So I go as a player, a single player, I just go and beat these featured opponents. I go and select, I beat these guys, depending on how well you do. And this is all, single player, or, you're not playing, you're playing
a particular player in a position.
I'm playing the AI, but the AI is drawing teams based on real people's teams. You know what I'm saying? So it's taking real people's teams and then AI's playing them. So I'm not playing real people, even though I'm playing their teams. And then depending how well I do, like let's say I get to gold one week through the week. Look, I get 25,000
250,000.
quick sell, coins, 4 trophies that go to something else. I get these packs. So like that, or if I want to go in and I want to play the market, there's what's called an auction house market. I can get coins that way. So it's like there's plenty of ways to do it. It's like you can invest the time or you can put in real money.
Right.
But you're gonna have to do one of each.
You got to pay at the door somewhere.
So I choose to put in the time. So
there you go.
You know, and then with the solo battles, that's the new way this year to gain coins.
Okay.
Or that power up the upgrade system I was showing you. That's a way to like, you can sell some cards. Like I could sell this guy right here. See that training? 375 training. I kick that training and go and pump them into a specific, player. I can go and I can pump them. If I had 370 training points in my pocket, see, look, I can spend 40 of them on this tier 6 to get them to 80 overall. I can spend it. See, so those training points do go, I think, a long way.
Cork, are you genuinely following this, or are you just nodding along? Because this is insanely complex.
It's very complicated.
It is a little, but honestly, you just spend a little time, and there's enough. There's enough systems. Like, well, here's how I earn training. Here's how I earn coins. Here's how I unlock, these players and stuff like that. It's all. You just get on this sort of treadmill, and you can just go in different directions, and you'll earn this stuff, and you'll figure it out. It's not super complicated.
Okay.
So, getting out of that, but going on a little bit more simpler.
Please,
help
us, Kato.
Is, as we were talking about, is Longshot. So,
Lovely.
Not only will you learn parts of the game through playing Longshot, but you'll also get, I think, you'll get a story. Which is kind of amusing, and one of the things that they're doing new this year is they're giving you sort of simple football situations, but they're not doing it in totally different ways. So last way people didn't like it, where you would like control the football in this like Matrix style situation. They're not doing any of that. Now it's just, we're going to put you on the field, and Devin Wade, this one of the stars of this mode. He's got to drive the field, it's a Cowboys preseason game, and he's got to go down the field and score. So you'll just do that.
Right. And then you throw 30 interceptions and they say, please try again.
Yeah. And they're very patient. Very patient with you. Please try again.
All right, dumb question, Kato.
Try again.
Is this a real show?
Yes.
Okay. So they made these guys talk about made up characters from EA.
Yes. And that's kind of like,
insane.
Honestly, there's not a lot of NFL sort of flavor. It's not like you're running into, you're going to run into Ben Roethlisberger. Then you're going to talk with this guy, and then this guy's in this cutscene. It's not really like that. But this is one of the ways. They have
a little bit of that later on.
A little bit, but not a lot. This is one of the ways they try to, NFL it up a little bit.
Yeah, to make it feel a little bit more realistic. But it's not all live action, Cork, just in case you were confused here.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in playing a mode like this, Cork? What's it going to take to get you in this car?
I don't know if I like this show. So
New gameplay today, or
no? Good Morning Football.
You're not as much of a Microsoft Surface guy. You're more of an iPad guy. Is that what I'm sensing?
Exactly.
It's so weird, Kato, throughout the course of this, how they dance back and forth between live action and in-game models. Like, the girlfriend character is live action when she's in the phone, but then when she's in the game, she's like an in-game model. Devin Wade at the end has like a live action version of him. It's all over the place.
Yeah, that was
weird.
Really confusing. I kept looking at that and was like, is he live action, or is it just put on the screen and then it's his like the render assets? I was like thoroughly confused about that.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. It's a regular Quantum Break again every year with Madden NFL.
So can you skip ahead to what this mode is like then, or
here we
doing
go.
It for us?
Yeah, and so this, Hanson, when you were talking the other day and you were saying like, well, what's the segue? What's the setup? Like this sequence right here does set it up pretty good. If you haven't played last year's Longshot, you can watch this and you get a little bit of context for these characters, I think.
Right. Local boy rises to the top of Finland. Got it.
He's got a guitar.
Well, he has that song called Longshot. It's a hit.
Do they play that song in...
He does. He sings that song.
In real life, though? Like, do they play that at football games now?
Oh, interesting.
Thank you.
It's not really kind of like your let's get juiced up for the kickoff.
Yeah.
It's not really that kind of a vibe.
Yeah. Well, it's not like replacing Rock and Roll Part 2.
Who did Rock and Roll Part 2?
Yeah, our dear friend Gary Glitter.
I see.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, they touch on it a little bit, and kind of go into, I don't know if this is what you're getting to, but like, they're showing the credits here. The people who do this, like, the actors and voice actors, I think they put in a really, really good performance.
Totally.
So it's one of those things where even if you're like, well, I don't really want to sit here and watch these cutscenes, and I know how to play football. I don't need like to do like the simple play this preseason game stuff. I play this mode just to see the story and just to hear the performances. And even the story, and I say it's not super great. You can see it from a mile off, but the performances are good.
I think it's got a couple of subtle twists in there. You can probably see where it's going for sure. But yeah, the writing, the performances just blew me away.
We're going green, right, strong. Slot spider, 2 wide banana. Got it?
And you see what I'm talking about with that kind of delivery. Slot spider.
Well, in the previous long shot, they made a deal about like you had to like parrot back those play calls and stuff. And like when I first got into this, I had just had like shell shock. It's like, oh no, he's going through it. I can't remember. I can't even remember it now. And it's only like six. It's only like six versions of that or whatever.
Right. How do these quarterbacks actually memorize this? Okay, so Longshot last season finished with Devin Wade being like, "Welcome to the Cowboys, son," I presume.
Well, no, that's the thing is that you got to you were drafted by the team or your sort of favorite team that you had picked. So like I was drafted by the Vikings, but none of that stuff actually carries over. So like no matter what you did, there's no like Mass Effect like answer these questions.
Why the hell
like,
not?
Pulling the save data. I think they wanted to customize it so they didn't. There was fewer variables, so I think they just threw you in this situation. But
well, I hope they have something carrying forward year to year. I think it's a really cool idea of have like this episodic story based around football where it imports your save in some subtle way. Even.
Yeah. I honestly like they've said that these characters will live on and they may show up, but they're basically saying this is the end of the story. So like,
really?
Next year is not going to be a long shot, whatever. Longshot part 3 or anything like that. They may use the characters, but so I have a feeling that they're sort of, I don't want to say they're necessarily sunsetting, but I have a feeling that they're keeping their options open not to do it.
Okay,
if that makes
that's
any
interesting.
sense,
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, Kato, I appreciate this look at Madden 19.
Yeah, it seems like there is a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of different modes. As you can see, some are more tailored to certain kind of play styles than other. But honestly, like people always ask me, well, of course, should I buy this mode or should I buy this game? And so then my next question is like, well, what modes do you want to play? Do you want to play franchise? Do you want to play Ultimate Team? But that's the thing is I think people need to get over a little bit of that and be like, you know what? Like I was never an Ultimate Team person since birth, but I've slowly gotten into it over the years because I've been more and more curious. And I think honestly it's paid off for me. So even if you're like, well, I don't care about Devin Wade, or I don't want to collect cards, or I don't want to build a franchise, I just want to play, I honestly think it's worth your time to sort of investigate, because I think you will find some things you there it is
There it is.
a little teaser there. I think there's stuff you're going to find in here no matter what you're looking for. And some stuff that might surprise you. You didn't think you were into this or that other thing.
Yeah.
There's just a lot packed in.
Very cool. Well, thanks again, Kato. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Hanson, thanks for joining us.
Love it.
And thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.